We're recording because I have the school remote now.
Right? Let's get ready.
Welcome to Manny vs. Mommy. I'm Ken.
Hello, I'm Janet.
And we thought we'd do a quick little recording session real fast so we have a few minutes. So let's start with our three things. Ready?
Oh, geez. I haven't even thought about it. You go.
All right. So the subject for our three things is biggest fear.
Grasshoppers. Losing a child. Can I do fears? I guess it's up for interpretation. Not being enough.
Mine would be curbing myself. It's a legitimate fear.
You're 6'4".
There's a story to that, but I can't explain or elaborate. So curbing myself would be one. Dying in a car accident. And crowds.
Okay, so do we have a subject?
No. I put one on the list. Do we have...
A most recent one?
Not that one.
Not yet.
Nope. Ooh, let's do self-care.
Oh, that's a long topic. We're going to have to revisit it then if we do that.
Okay, let's not do that because we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Let's do the bottom one on the list. Going to the movies by yourself.
Okay.
Because I went to the movies last night with my roommate, and there was an empty chair. So it was my roommate, Melanie, myself, empty chair, or two empty chairs, and then a guy that was by himself. And Melanie's like, would you ever go to the movies by yourself? And I'm like, all the time. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on going to the movies by yourself?
I actually love it because for me, so much of my experience is based on who I go with. Because I've been to the movies with people, and one person in particular that every freaking time, if he didn't like the movie, I felt it in my soul.
So you didn't say anything, or just little cues,
didn't
sign,
even have
or
to.
how did you?
Yeah, didn't even have to say he didn't like the movie. It was just like this emergence of energy of, "Are you kidding me? I hate this." And then after the movie, we'd talk about it, and it was very negative, and it was very like, and I had a completely different experience. So then that tainted my experience. So I love going by myself to have an experience by myself. I don't do it often, but I do like it. And along those same lines, I like eating by myself too. I'm not afraid to do it.
At restaurants?
Yes.
Me too. I
Yes.
love doing that actually.
Because I oftentimes, when I was hosting, people would come in and I'm like, how many? I try not to say just one. You know, if they walk in by themselves, how many in your party? Just one. I'm like, great. And in the back of my mind at the time as a young, older teenager, younger adult, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. You don't have anybody to eat with. And now, over the years, I've been like, actually, I like eating alone. Why do you like eating alone?
Real fast, AirPods, yes or no when you eat alone? Do you have AirPods in? Are you listening to something? Or are you just there chilling by yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Both. I mean, it depends. Because there's a lot of times I might be doing work, I might be, trying to complete a task. Sometimes I'll bring in my notebook and I've got things I need to work on, or I'm on my phone working or playing. But a lot of times I just like being in the environment and watching other people, because it's like being at an airport too. Like, how do those people know each other? Why are they traveling together in the
restaurant? Are you people watching at the theater? Because that's a little different.
No. I mean, back to the subject, but I feel like it's kind of transformed into doing things alone. What are your thoughts on eating alone? AirPods, yes or no?
Usually yes, because I like background noise.
Is it music? Is it
typically
podcast?
Music, podcast, mostly music. I like it because it's my time. I have my day so full of stuff, and I'm constantly around people. But I'm like, I just want to be myself, be by myself, relax, not have to worry about anything, not having to worry about a conversation. It's just my decompression. It's kind of like driving. I like driving alone because I like that time to just, I don't have to feel like I'm pushing a conversation or actively listening. I can just check out a little bit.
And I sometimes find that when I'm by myself driving, I actually drive in silence. It doesn't happen a lot, but there are times that I intentionally drive in silence.
My dad did for years on the way to and from work. His radio broke in his car. And I was like, do you want us to fix that? And he's like, no, I like the silence.
I need a new car radio because somebody stole.
Now I just sit in silence.
Now I just sit in silence. But there is something to that, because processing through that as you're in autopilot already, driving a route that you know by like the back of your hand, like you could drive it in your sleep, essentially. I think there's something to that, like processing through things.
Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to just not have noise.
Yes.
Not distractions, nothing. It's like meditation without meditation.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why intentionally I drive sometimes in silence, because the house is never quiet.
No.
I mean, it's relatively quiet now.
Well, because we only have one kid that we've bribed with stuff to leave us alone so we can record. So.
Thank you, Cinderella.
But I think, do you think it's different for a guy to go to a movie theater by himself than a girl to go by himself? By herself, I mean?
We're not about gender identification. We don't know.
I am.
So him or herself.
Themself.
From a cultural perspective, is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Or
like
like
when
for
you
me
go by
personally?
yourself, do you personally feel like weird, or is it? Are there anything that sticks out that makes the experience maybe uncomfortable or awkward?
For me personally, no, because I'm like, don't care. I just don't anymore. I used to. So I think my own fears initially, like my knee-jerk reaction is, I don't have a date. And for a man to not have a date and a woman to not have a date, is that different? I don't know.
I think so,
I'm
because I've never
only
thought,
better
oh,
than a woman.
I'm here by myself because I don't have a date. I always just think like, do they think I'm just creepy?
That's
Just
fair.
here by myself. I think that there's more of a stigma if a guy's by himself. Like, what is this guy by himself doing? That's what my roommate was kind of like. Like, this is weird.
I feel like men would do things more often alone than women. Why do you think that is? Do you see a man at a movie by himself or eating by himself more often, or a woman by themselves?
Movies, I think men more often.
Dinner?
Eating, dinner, I don't know.
Lunch, breakfast, brunch,
It's
whatever.
actually kind of rare for me to see someone just eating in a sit-down place by themselves.
That's fair.
And I try and look for that because I do it all the time.
I know.
I think, I don't know. I wonder if it is a... For me, I go to the movies by myself because I cannot have any talking in a movie.
What happens if somebody in front of you is talking in a movie,
In
or
front of me?
behind you?
In front of me, it's, stop talking. Hey.
Tap, tap, tap.
Quiet. I have a funny story about that. If it's behind me, I legitimately will like turn around and just stare. And then if they say something, I'm like, obviously your conversation is more important than this movie, and I'm really into your conversation. Keep going. There was one time we were seeing a thriller movie, and these girls just could not stop talking. I turned around, I asked them to be quiet. So finally, I literally just stood up in front of them so they couldn't see the screen, and they're like trying to look around. I was like, it's really irritating when someone ruins a movie for you. And I just kind of stood there for a minute. And then I went and sat down, and they were quiet the rest of the time.
I just love that about you. Like, you're not afraid to stand up for what you need and what you want and be a dick about it in the process.
I
Let's
paid
be
$10
honest.
for this movie. Be quiet.
Yes, no.
I really want to hear what's going on.
Yeah, and not just that, but I feel like part of it, and you might disagree in your intentions, but I think a lot of it is selfless in that you don't want anybody else to have a bad experience either, because you know that it affects everyone and you're not afraid to say something.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't do that. I am very outspoken, but my ability to influence other people, I'm like, I don't want to piss them off. I do like my experience and I want to make sure everybody's happy, but you're more, I think, about the individual experience, and I'm like, I don't know, it's different.
So there was one time we went and saw a movie, and it was before they replaced like the big recliner seats. So it was just, the closer seats together. And this guy in front of us had his phone. Can I borrow your phone?
Sure.
Has his phone, and he's like going like this constantly throughout the movie. And then I can see that it's on a phone call. It's connected to a phone call. And if the phone call disconnects, he hurries and calls him back, and he's like going like this. And I don't think it was FaceTiming. I think he was just having the person listen to the movie. It was so irritating. And I'm like, put your phone away. Put your phone away. And he's like, so he puts it down. I don't know if he disconnected the call or what. Then he pulls out a literal bag of cereal. And he's
Like the plastic.
Like the plastic bag. Like from the
Wow.
inside of the box, the bag of cereal. And he's like crumpling it and eating the cereal. And I'm like, are you kidding? Like, be quiet. There's other people here. He finishes the bag of cereal. This is how patient I was. Enough time for him to finish. I don't know if it was completely full to begin with, but minutes go by, 10, 15, and he finishes it. And then he lifts it to like get the crumbs out.
Shut up.
And so I'm like super pissed at this point. Past annoyed. Oh, I hit the back of his chair to like knock it off. The chair is broken. He goes flying. And people cheered. People around me cheered. And my sister's like, do you know him? And I was like, no, he's just ruining my movie experience. Stop talking.
That's so funny. So I have a quick story about that. I don't know if my brother even watches this. We got like a minute or two left. And maybe we'll introduce this one later. Titus, come here. Come here.
Girls, don't touch me.
Yeah, don't touch. Okay, there he was.
Titus.
Oh, he's like, let me bring my ball. Let me bring my ball. Wait, come on. Come on. That's Titus. That's a story for another day.
I ever said
you
I'm
get
not
one,
a dog person?
You get one throw. That's it. One throw.
One's
you ready?
never enough. It's a potato.
Anywho, he's been hovering for a couple of minutes now. So my brother, along those lines of like, do you know him? So my brother one time was at a movie and he can hear a baby crying and he's like, get your baby out, right? Like one of those.
Yeah.
And after the movie, this big Islander guy comes up to him, and he's not a huge guy. He's like 6 feet, but not beefy, right?
Yeah.
So this Polynesian guy, there it is. This Polynesian guy comes up to him and is like, "Did you say something about me too?" He's got one of those little trays, right, with like the popcorn and stuff, and he like throws it at him.
Your brother throws it and runs?
He's gonna beat him up. So he's like panicked and takes off like, I need to create some space here. So he like threw the popcorn at him.
And cartoon ran.
Confrontation's
His feet spin
up.
for a second and then he started going.
Yeah, Flintstone style. So if you have any movie stories, eating alone, what else?
Just
Movies
general,
alone.
like,
yeah.
What are your movie pet peeves? What?
Or driving, you know.
Yeah. When's your best time to be alone? That's the best. When is your best time that you think other people don't really understand?
How are you weird when people think that you're alone? What do you do? And I think that feeds right into the self-care, which we'll do another
Next
time.
time.
Yep.
All right. Love
Thanks
you.
for
Bye.
watching.